Hello and welcome, everyone. This is Dr. George Gonzalez, and this is the Hologram Podcast. And I am inviting you to come to our homecoming event, November 8th and 9th here in Southern California, Los Angeles, Culver City area. We're going to have a load of speakers. We're going to have panels of doctors that are going to be presenting the new and latest in neurological rehabilitation, mainly in quantum neurology. And one of the great doctors that's going to be there, I'm very excited to have, is Dr. Moos. And Dr. Moos is a quantum neurology practitioner. He's been using quantum neurology for several years now. He's an expert in athletic performance, in nutrition and biochemistry. And Dr. Moos, I'm so excited to have you there. Tell us what you're going to be talking about.
Yeah, thanks, George. So this year, what we're going to actually be talking about is we're going to be talking about neurotransmitters, specifically on how to balance neurotransmitters using quantum neurology and nutrition and functional medicine principles. So kind of the combination of using, nutrition, QN, kind of the strategies you've laid out, and then nutrition to kind of balance those out as well too. So how the two interplay and how you can get the best results with balancing brain chemistry and neurology from the neurotransmitter perspective.
Very exciting. I'm really excited to have you speaking about that. I just did an interview with Dr. Chris Astle-Smith, who you know very well, and I'm sure you have nice things to say about him. You learned biochemistry from him, as I am now. So why don't you just tell people about him? If you don't know who he is, talk about him real quick.
So Chris is actually a great mentor of mine. I mean, one of the most brilliant minds that I've ever seen in biochemistry, and being able to just dissect basically any biochemistry pathway and then figuring out how to functionally test through them to kind of restore balance to those pathways that actually help to restore balance to the body. So pretty much like any metabolic biochemical pathway that you can think of, he's pretty much dissected and figured out how to test for and balance those imbalances and create amazing results in those areas. So
absolutely amazing. He's going to be sharing with us about the cells that are photosensitive and how we can use quantum neurology to affect those specific pathways that those cells are associated with. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'm excited about that, as I know you are, because you learned from him and a lot of the principles that you're talking about right now. It's really cool that we're both very big fans of his, and we're going to be sharing the stage with him at homecoming. But when we're talking about what you're doing, you've got this biochemistry concepts from Dr. Chris, and what I see is a very functional way of looking at biochemistry that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And you being a student of that, how have you interpreted that, and how have you?
So it's great because you can really go through and kind of find the functional deficits and how they're actually affecting the neuromuscular system. So basically everything in our body, the muscles in the neuromuscular system, like our nerves and our muscles and all of that, provide this window or gauge into the body. And so there's really anything can create imbalances in those areas, specifically biochemistry. And so instead of going through with the way that a lot of people do was what I kind of call the shotgun approach, right? Where they just kind of throw in tons of different nutrients and hoping that something corrects something. And you're looking at this big, broad, global picture. It allows us to get very specific to what the biochemical area that you're trying to address is, and how it can actually improve basically like the nervous system, the muscular system, the entire body output. And so that's what I love about how we've developed this system and how we look at these processes in the body, is that you're looking at this specific sequence of things that causes breakdown that then allows you to restore proper nervous system function, proper muscular function, proper immune system function, detoxification, all those kind of things. And it's really about restoring the biochemistry. It's and figuring out where the imbalances happen, and you can kind of target that in and know exactly what's going on in that area. So it makes it much easier to correct, and how you can correct these things with confidence.
I absolutely love it. And one of the key factors to what Dr. Noah is talking about is the use of neurological testing to validate before and after situations. So when you're matching up these biochemistry pathways or these nutrients, you're using neurological tests to validate that the patient is at bare minimum not losing neurological function when these things are introduced. But more importantly, when you have a compromised neurological function, it demonstrates a correction of that function. Is that correct, Dr. Noah? Am I explaining that correctly?
Yeah, so you can use this to figure out if there's something in the body that's causing a like a stress or a breakdown in there, whether it be something from like a physical stress, and then in this case like a chemical stress. So let's say that you're going out and doing some type of a workout and you're not getting exactly through an energy system like you should. You can kind of pinpoint in where that dysfunction is, where you have bioaccumulation in those areas, then figure out the specific nutrient that your body needs to process that through. Kind of similarly to, with the neurotransmitters, all the neurotransmitters have different effects on our meridian system. And then from our meridian system, all of those things actually affect different muscle groups. So if there's an imbalance in a neurotransmitter, it can affect a meridian, which can then affect a muscle and a neurologic pathway. So what we're going to be talking about in this whole thing is essentially how those neurotransmitters relate into the meridian and organ system, and then how those organ systems through the visceral somatic response in the nervous system actually shut down that neuromuscular pathway in between the muscles. So we're basically looking from like the muscles and the myotome through the organ meridian connection, and then the meridians are actually affected by neurotransmitter effect as well too. So we can see this stepwise pattern on how these imbalances happen in people, and then specifically what area through a visceral somatic response actually change that creates a physical manifestation in the body. So we're going to walk through this whole process on how we can identify how neurotransmitters may be causing different movement imbalances. They may be causing different pain patterns, different expressions, those kind of things. And it's things that maybe people have, it is things that people have all the time that they have no clue that are caused by maybe a visceral somatic or neurotransmitter response, and how we can better identify these things in our patients for corrections of everything from back pain, heavy quads, tight calves, headaches, migraines, those kind of things, and how it actually can be from biochemical imbalances and they just don't know.
Absolutely amazing. And it sounds very advanced, I'll say that. But how difficult is it to use this concept? And
it's actually pretty easy. We'll walk through with some basic understandings of the neurologic QN principles, which most people can pick up fairly quickly. This is actually a fairly easy concept to apply to be able to identify if some of these things are going on. So why the whole neurological process of getting from like the neurotransmitter to the muscle is there. There's a lot of pathways and different things to dissect involved in that. Testing it actually is fairly easy. And being able to make the correction is fairly easy when you know the underlying thing that you're looking at in that area and how to unwind that whole pathway. So
very exciting. It's very exciting to see the use of quantum neurology and neurological testing towards the biochemistry side of the equation. And because originally it was just designed for the neurological work, but being able to use the neurology to validate the effect something has on the patient is very powerful. And it's exciting to hear about this, what you're doing, and all the different projects you have. And, please, everybody who's coming, save the date, November 8th and 9th. We have many other speakers. Dr. Noah, you've been to several of these events, and you've spoken at several of these events. What would you say people should come to Homecoming for?
Man, I think it's a great community. Come to get yourself treated. Come to learn some of the some really unique, interesting concepts. Some of the things that you hear and are presented here are just so they're like gems. They're things that you can walk out of, and you hear a presentation and you're like, man, I have a patient who has that, and I'm really struggling with them. And so you go back and you try some of these new like little tricks and tricks of the trade that some of these awesome docs have developed over the years, and it really allows you to to really kind of figure out like help those people that maybe you don't you haven't been able to help before. So there's so many really you'll just get so many gems, and just the community getting treated, getting yourself worked on by some of these great docs, and just being in community with these great people is an amazing, it's reason enough to come. So
absolutely, it's a blessing to be a part of this, and to be the leader of this community is just such an honor. And I love meeting doctors like yourself who are doing exciting, amazing things with the principles of neurological rehabilitation, quantum neurology, and all the applications from sports to just moms and dads and kids, just the whole spectrum of humanity. And it's exciting. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your project, that you're working on, and the nutrient project that you have?
yeah, so we actually have a company called the Human Nutrition Project, basically a holistic like sports wellness and performance company. My wife is a professional track and field athlete and got really sick with the traditional, things that were used in sports nutrition, sports medicine, that kind of stuff. And it's through, her struggles and, her recovery from everything, using kind of natural and functional medicine principles to kind of heal herself and get herself to where, she's at a level where she can compete again and do some things like that. We decided that we needed to actually effectively make a change in the sports and performance market by developing products that are healthier, safer, use organic ingredients, or based on biochemistry, instead of just like junk science and stimulants and a lot of these things. So we kind of take the foundations of good quality biochemistry principles and fueling the body, and then try to find the most natural ingredients we can to basically fuel the body and energize the body for total holistic wellness and performance. Because if you're not healthy, you're not going to perform well. You might be able to stimulate your performance a little bit here and there using some of these stimulant-based products, but when your body's truly healthy, we always say, healthy performs better. For over longer periods of time, when your body's healthy and you feed it what you need, you're going to be able to perform better over longer periods of time, whether instead of just stimulating the body, putting questionable things in there that kind of stimulate and over stress the body for performance, you're eventually going to crash. So we just wanted to create a healthier environment for athletes where they can get good quality nutrients and things that actually feed their body and help their body perform better. And so that's kind of how we started this project. So
I love it. And what's the website that people could go to for more information on that?
thehumannutritionproject.com.
Perfect. I'm a big fan. I think these are great products, and people should check it out. It's a high recommend. Also, you can hear more about it at the homecoming event, November 8th and 9th. Dr. Noah will be speaking there and presenting on neurotransmitters. Please make your reservations now, and we'd love to see you. Thank you, Dr. Noah. We'll see you there.
All right. Thanks.